Welcome to Elf-Centered. Let's keep talking about nightclubs and all the fun stuff to do with them. I'm a DJ. I adore music. I'm OCD about music. I love music. I live for music. So we're going to keep coming back to this kind of thing. And we're going to focus primarily on the alternative scene, the dark alternative scene, goth, industrial, that sort of thing, because that's, where I've got most of my experience and most of my, seeing what's gone on and such years ago and today and thinking about tomorrow. I will get into other kinds of music and other kinds of clubs in time. So, nights succeed and fail. Clubs open, do a great run and close. But really, and there's a lot of this on social media, people pointing the finger, well, if these people didn't do that or those people didn't do this, it would have kept going. Everything comes in waves. Everything happens in cycles. Things change. Evolution. But who is really responsible for those clubs that have to close, those nights that have to fail, where the rent's not being paid, where the staff aren't making any money? There are 4 different groups of people involved in the nightclub business, really, when you get down to it. And it's the responsibility of all 4 of them to work professionally and do their job. First of all, let's start with club management and club owners. You built a club. You've got a theme. You've got an environment. You've got an atmosphere. Now you've got an idea what you want in there. Make sure it all matches. You're taking over an old club. If it's not doing well, rebuild. Under new management is a wonderful thing if you renovate. Renovate your own club periodically. Make changes. Bring in new. Every 5-6 years, do a changeover. Make something different of it. Be flexible. Very important. The location of the club matters. The access to the club matters. The cleanliness of the bathrooms matter. But really, what crowd are you inviting in? You can set up the best goth night possible and find out that it's all rivet heads who want to come, or all hip hop fans, or all, look at where you are and what sort of audience you want, how they can get there and how they can be there. Be flexible with what you need. Because honestly, as club management, your most important focus should be making money. It should be bringing the people through the door, and this is where you do it overall, and making money, paying the bills, putting some coin in your pocket. Do not meddle. Trust. Don't go up to your DJ and say, wow, this is kind of a little darker than I wanted. Look at the dance floor. Is he packing them on? Is he selling your beer? Is he bringing in the crowds and the people? Trust your promoters, your entertainment, your DJs, the bands. Trust them to bring people in. If they don't, then replace them. Be proactive about killing the night. If it's not meeting your expectations, have realistic expectations. But don't walk up to a DJ and say, you need to play this song or this kind of music unless you're willing to allow the DJ to set your drink prices. Because honestly, fair is fair. You do what you're good at, allow the DJ and the promoter to do what they're good at. Use some critical thinking. Do not believe any kid in jeans, down around the thighs coming in saying, I can pack your bar. Maybe, maybe not. Take a look at what goes on in clubs around you. Be aware of the world. Don't listen to one source of media and say, oh, this music is there for. Don't just listen to YouTube and say, hey, this is what everyone's listening to. Yeah, maybe, maybe not. Not in your area. So club management, do what you do best. Run the club. Trust your staff to do their jobs, don't you? Trust the DJ to do his job. And honestly, make sure that the DJ and or the entertainment is paid by the number of people they bring through the door, whether it's a bar percentage for selling the booze or it's a door percentage, because this way they work harder to bring people through the door, because more people through the door, more money in your promoter's or DJ's pocket. And who doesn't want more money? Promoters. Now, in certain places, promoters and DJs are separately. In other places, they're the same person. I'm going to treat them as if they're separately because they are 2 separate jobs. And a lot of DJs who do the promotion thing don't get it. A lot of the promoters who do the DJ thing do not get it at all. So, promoters, first of all, know thine audience and thine talent. Know what meshes and what doesn't. When you've got 3 bands on, make sure there's a flow. Make sure everything works together. Don't put 3 incredibly discordantly different bands together. It makes no sense at all. Listen to all sides. You're going to get it from above. You're middle management. You're going to get it from above and below. The club management, the club owner is going to tell you what they want. What they really want is to sell booze. Get bodies on the floor. Get the bodies on the floor. Get the bodies on the floor. What your audience is going to tell you is what will bring those people through your door. What will entice them to come out and enjoy your night. What will be fun. What will be entertaining. Make sure you listen to both, and then take a good look at the area, the access, all the other stuff. Promoting is not an easy thing, particularly when you're dealing with bands and live shows and models and fashion shows. DJs are probably some of the easiest people to deal with, though they have their issues and egos too. There is a misperception among many people that promoters must sink their own money into the things that they do. No, you don't need to. If everything balances out right, what comes in from the club night goes out to the entertainment, the events you put on, and hopefully a few coins in your pocket too. I mean, these days breaking even is all somebody can ask for. Making money at stuff, not in the dark alternative scene so much. A little bit here and there, some fetish nights, some festivals or big events. And just because festivals seem to be the way things are going and oh wow, they sound like they're making money, most of them are not. Don't give up on touring. Do not pop a festival into your city because, well, another city 4 hours away has a festival and it's awesome. It's going to become like science fiction conventions, where there's one every weekend of the year. People have to decide which one they're going to, and it might not be yours. There's a fight over the bands and supply and demand. When a band is wanted by 10 festivals, it can jack the price up to see who can afford it. Be very careful of festivals. They are a lot of work and not a lot of return for investment unless you do it wisely. Festivals are becoming the big thing in North America, and I don't know why. We're not set up the way Europe is for festivals. We don't have the passion and the audience that Europe does for the festivals. But it seems it's the next big moneymaker. No, it's not. It's the next big way that it's going to crumble and kill the scene even further. Because touring is becoming passé in being exchanged for festivals. Just because you think you can do something better doesn't mean you can. Be realistic in how you approach your strengths and challenges. So many of you, you're wonderful. You dream wonderful dreams. Hook up with a business person. Somebody who can tell you when your dream is a cloud castle that you're not going to be able to touch. DJs, and this is where I love to talk the most. Know your audience. Read your audience. Listen to your audience. Don't tell your audience. Yes, one of the jobs of a DJ, of which there are many, is to introduce your audience to new music. There are ways to do this. Subtle, careful ways. Ways that entertain the audience and lead them. Coax them gently. Do not grab them by the face and say, all I'm playing tonight is. It's how your nights die. When a night is dying, figure out early on a threshold. You've got a room that takes 150 people. You're hoping to get 100 in. Set a threshold, 25 people. When that night, twice in a row, is 25 or less people, shoot it in the head. Because all you're doing is separating out a few people from the pie. There is a finite pie. And you're just cutting the slices smaller and smaller and smaller. And you're hurting yourself, you're hurting the scene, you're hurting other DJs and promoters and other clubs. All you're doing is damaging everything you say you're standing for, the community. Know why people go to your club night. Most people go to socialize, to drink. They're kind of, similar. Hang out with friends with a drink in your hand, a smoke if you do that and there's a smoking area. They go to dance, some of them. They go to hear music, some of them. They want to hear music they like, and often that is the old overplayed stuff that they only hear once a month when they come out to your event. So yeah, you're going to get, 300 requests for Bela Lugosi's Dead by Bauhaus. Play it. Unless you can encourage them to embrace new music. And again, there are ways of doing that. And I might share that with you, and I might not. Because there are lots of wrong ways to do it and a couple of smart ways of doing it. And whichever one of the couple of smart ways you pick, trust me, it'll work. But so many keep picking the dumb ways. New versus old. A lot of them are going to want to hear the older stuff. The stuff they haven't heard in forever in a club. A club experience is different than listening to your computer at home, your stereo, or your radio. It really is. Hearing Susie and the Banshees on the radio in the car, and you bounce a little bit and go, oh, this is great, and you're on to the next song. Hearing it in a club where you can dance to it, you can move to it, it brings back memories. I have played stuff in clubs that have had half the crowd in tears. That is success. Another thing, just because your dance floor is not full is not a bad thing. Because when you get down to it, you have many jobs, but your primary job is to bring people through the door and sell beer to make club management happy. If you got them all tapping their feet and bobbing their heads, excellent. You are so close to putting them on the dance floor. But remember, they're also still buying booze and making club management happy. They're paying salaries, yours included. Do not pack the dance floor and hold them there as captives for hours at a time. Give them a break. Switch it up. Give the people who are standing by the bar a chance to get on the dance floor, and the people on the dance floor a chance to get to the bar. Sell the booze. Cycle the dance floor. There are ways of doing it without losing it completely. People will have many expectations of you. Learn how to handle these people. Learn some customer care for St. Peter's sake. Really. Learn how to say, no, I'm not going to play that, in a polite way that keeps the person in the bar and brings them to your dance floor when you play something similar. DJing, as much as many of us love it, and some people think it's fun, and it is for a lot of it, is work. It's a job. There are expectations of a job, that you will be responsible and hold up your end. That you will not call in 3 hours before the shift, before the club opens, and go, I'm not feeling it tonight. I have been called by clubs at 10 o'clock at night saying, our DJ did not show, can you get down here? I'm sitting around in my pajamas with my big furry slippers on, watching a movie. No, I can't get down there. I can't get across city in an hour, changed, packed, and ready to go. I don't have a kit bag for an emergency DJ thing, because in my life, in decades of doing it, it's happened 6 or 8 times. Once is too many, but 6 or 8 times is not enough for me to have that kit on standby for 3 years in order to use it while it collects dust, and I don't even know if the stuff works anymore or is current. Egos. We talk about divas in the bands and the fashion shows and stuff like that. Wow, some of you DJs put them to shame. Better together. Work with each other. If someone else has got a successful night, don't try to just copy their crap. It's not going to work. It works for that moment, that crowd, that place, that time. It's not necessarily... I'm happy to post my playlist because DJs look at me and go, aren't you afraid someone's going to steal your playlist? More power to you. If you can get that stretch of 12 songs to pack your dance floor among a different crowd in a different city, a different night, a different feel, a different energy, a different everything, by ignoring what the audience wants, then I applaud the heck out of you. What it means is I should come and DJ your night because obviously I know what I'm doing better than you do. Working together. One of the best experiences I have ever had has been working with DJ Vortek and Dr. Q. You guys really kick some serious posterior. And the three of us together, occupying the stage at the same time, working off each other and with each other, is an intense, high-energy moment that not only we feel, but is communicated to the audience. And they go crazier and wilder for it. It becomes an intense night that people talk about until the next year when we do it again. And they tell their friends, and more and more and more show up. Yes, there'll be times when you have to carry the night. 4 or 5 hours. I've had DJs go, how do you do that? You do it. What do you mean? I've got thousands of hours of music. I leave a 5-hour night thinking I could have played this and that, and oh man, I wanted to bring this out, I wanted to show them this, and reintroduce them to that. Doing a whole night on your own is no big deal. Whether it's an hour or 20 hours, you should be able to do the job. But don't get snarked. I watch DJs tell other... So DJ B shows up at DJ A's night with some flyers for a night that does not compete. It's a different night of the week. It's a great event coming up. And DJ A kicks DJ B out because how dare you flyer my night? You know what? Working together, cross-promotion, cross-marketing, you people would have both been the better for it. Instead, you're playing snarky little games. You know, it happens. You know what? It happens among bands. It happens in the burlesque circuit. It happens among entertainers of all stripe. DJs, we're better than that. There aren't as many good, solid, dependable, professional DJs as there are everybody else wanting the spotlight. Really, there are a lot of DJs who just want the spotlight for the ego fix. You know what? They will out. They will ruin themselves. They will slide away in obscurity. I've watched it happen again and again and again. Ibiza doesn't count because that's just weird. But you know what? Work together. I work with DJs in all kinds of cities. I, in particular, work as a guest DJ. I always joke, I don't, host a night or have my own night in my own city because I like to travel. I like to see other crowds, see new people, see what the scene is doing and what the community is doing in other cities, to see how healthy it is, to see where there are things I can bring back and say, wow, this is awesome, found this in Philadelphia, gotta show you people. Awesome, amazing, you ought to see what they're doing in Cleveland, let's bring it back to Toronto, or vice versa. I've worked with some amazing DJs, awesome DJs, and working together has really made me step up my game. Competition makes things real. If you can't compete, use your feet. Work with, not against. Better together. And as clubs close and as we go through a down cycle and things change, you will learn from other DJs. They will force you out of that rut in your dying night. They will have ideas and concepts, they will have music and mixes that will revitalize what you've got. You bring in the right guest DJ, not the same old people all the time, and it's amazing the response that you'll get. Better together. Honestly, a DJ I highly respect, a man who is incredible, ran his own bar, has found a different sound, is continuing on to great heights. DJ Pale, dude, I admire and applaud what you do. I really do. Had thought at one point and talked to me very briefly, and it's unfortunate we get very few chances to chat because he's a very, very wise man. He sees what's going on. He knows what's happening. And he mentioned the thought of making a website where DJs could all log in, and just DJs, password protected, and discuss how to work together, how to build nights, how to, sharing music and ideas, and what they think of crowds and audiences and club management. And then he realized very quickly in the discussion that, it would be a place where people are snarking and sniping at each other and complaining and whining and bitching, and it would be completely useless. And I got to agree, it would be completely useless because many people graduate from high school, almost all of them. Very few people leave it behind. There are DJs I love working with. There are DJs I tolerate working with. There are DJs I will never work with. Fortunately, the last group is very, very small, but I have my list. And finally, group number 4, the patrons. It is for you that we do this. And DJs and promoters and club management, you remember this. When your ego gets a little big because, oh, look what I have done, we do this for the patrons, the attendees, the people that come out and buy your booze and dance on your floor and have fun at your club and at your night and at your event. The people that come out and strut their beautiful plumage, the people that come out and make requests, the people that come out and tell you what they think. This is why we're doing it. Not for any other reason. You can make up all the reasons that you want, but if you're not doing it for the community and the audience, why are you doing it? Patrons, people who go to clubs. You have a voice. You walk into a club and there will be 1 or 2 or 3 DJs. There'll be 1 or 2 club owners and a manager. There will be 1 or 2 promoters. And you will be 50 or 100 or 500 strong. Your voice is what matters. Your voice affects change. Your voice is why they bring you what you want. First of all, demand better. If you don't like the music, the night, the personalities, the drama, the washrooms, the drink prices, raise your voice. If your voice is alone, it's subjective. Maybe you just, don't like $5.50 mixed drinks. You want it cheap. Who doesn't? But is it important? The more voices that join yours, the more important it is. And DJs, promoters, and club management, you listen. The more voices that are raised, the more important it is, and the more people will not darken your door, will not enter your club, will not dance on your floor and buy your booze. Demand better. Demand. Raise your voice. Make things known. We can't read minds. We try. We can read the audience to a certain extent. We can see what works on the dance floor. We can see you bouncing your head and tapping your feet and grooving along. We can see you going crazy. We read your Facebook posts. We listen to you online in forums saying that was amazing. We post the playlist so you can say, wow, those 3 songs. That's just, hey, I listened to this on YouTube today. And wow, I wish my DJ would play that. Hey, hint, hint, local DJ. We don't read minds. Raise your voice. Because it is that important to everyone. Not just us and not just you, but to everyone. One of the things I'm asked frequently, I have people asking me where I want to play next. I have people telling me that they like what I do. I'm flattered. I do the best I can. I appreciate that you appreciate what I do. And they say, you should play X club. You should talk to so-and-so about getting a guest spot. You should come to our city and do this. Love your playlist. You should talk to our convention. What you have to realize is every convention, and I love doing conventions. Conventions are the mix of geek and alternatives, just, heady. It's heady. It puts me in a tizzy. It really does. The excitement is just palpable. There, I think I've used all of my, interesting word of the days for the last week. But conventions, clubs, promoters, club management, other DJs, they are assaulted by requests from other DJs and bands and performers and models almost constantly. I do not handle the band side of Darker Side of Light. We have become a booking agency, which means that my business partner, Troy, who is an incredible man and a very intelligent man, does most of the work, and I sit back and periodically say, how can I help? I still get tons of bands saying, here, listen to our stuff, book us. And I smile and say, you got to go talk to Troy. And bring him something different. Buy him some booze. There are many ways to catch our attention. The best way to catch our attention, when I have a club night, I get DJs all the time going, you should have me as a guest. You know who I listen to? The patrons. I listen to you people that go to the club. If you would like me at your club, if you want me to do a guest night at wherever you go, talk to your promoter, talk to your DJs. Say, hey, check this guy out. Point him at my Facebook page. Point him at my playlist. Hey, maybe you want to talk to this guy. If 2 of you do it, at least I'm on the radar. If 50 of you do it, odds are, because when it comes to DJing, every DJ thinks they're the best. It is far too easy to gather a group of yes men and women and sycophants and people because they're latching on because they think they're going to get something out of it. Really, DJs don't have all that much to offer. We say we do and we fake it up, but being friends with the DJ isn't even going to necessarily get you on the guest list. If we can save you $5, we'll save you $5. We'll do anything we can. Because DJs are, for the most part, and I really hate this, collecting numbers just like Facebook. Let's see how many people love me. I don't care if they love me or not, just say that you love me. Look, I've got 10,000 followers, I must be fantastic. No, 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 some click farm somewhere is, you know, you bought a whole mess of likes and there you go. If you want a change to the music, speak up and prepare to put your money where your mouth is. If 75% of the club night agrees we really need a change in the music, bring in some guest DJs, do something new, and the DJ resists, walk away. It's the only way we get the damn message sometimes. You have to smack us in the back of the head with a 2x2 financially so that we understand, so that we know. There are other ways of doing it. Stay, just sit in on the dance floor. Stand there and cross your arms and glare at the DJ. After about 2-3 songs, he'll catch on. Don't buy any drinks. Sometimes you have to kill a night to birth something new. Sometimes you have to tear down the old to build the new in its place. Sometimes you have to let us know that, yeah, what we're doing really sucketh and not in the fun way. Change it up, guys. The smart DJs and promoters and club managers listen. The dumb ones don't, and you know, you're a great person, but when it comes to the talent. So again, if I could give 4 rules, one for each group. Club management, trust. Promoters, listen. DJs, better together. And patrons, demand better. Ladies and gents, thanks for tuning in to Elf Centered. I appreciate your watching all the stuff that goes on, and I hope I give you something here and there to take home with you. Have yourself a great night, go out and have a great time, and just be great. Wow, that was a weird voice.